Jurors will soon be deliberating the fate of marathon bomber Johar Tsarnaev. Closing arguments begin tomorrow. Jim Smith is live at federal court tonight. And Jim, they could get this case tomorrow.
Well, Kate, believe it or not, the jury could be deliberating by Monday afternoon. Now, Tsarnaev's own defense team acknowledges that their client was involved and a guilty verdict is likely, but everybody will be watching what happens next when this trial enters a new phase and a life or death decision could very likely be made. It's a story of two cases, the defense and the prosecution, and the difference in approach is staggering. The prosecution called more than 90 witnesses, laying out their case in sometimes graphic detail. Videos from that horrible day, the tattered clothing of the victims. The defense only called 4 witnesses and admitted right from the start that Johar Tsarnaev was involved.
The defense has just basically thrown themselves on the mercy of the court in this particular case. If, to use an old-fashioned phrase, they've said that they're guilty. They've said that he did it, and they're trying to shift the focus over to the older brother. It remains to be seen how much of that is going to resonate with this jury.
Closing arguments come Monday, and then the jury gets the case. Most analysts expect a guilty verdict, but then the real story would come during the next part of the trial. The penalty phase. That's when they consider if Tsarnaev will face the death penalty.
The additional component that we are going to see, in addition to the older, dominating, controlling brother, is going to be to humanize the defendant, to pull on the strings of compassion, sympathy, empathy, to try and show that he was a teenage college student who acted in a way that he otherwise wouldn't have because of his older brother.
Once again, if there is a guilty verdict, the trial would move to the so-called penalty phase, which is really like a second trial. Evidence would be presented again by both sides, witnesses would be called, and then in order to pronounce a death sentence, if they felt that way, the jury would have to vote unanimously. If not, it would be life in prison. Live at federal court, Jim Smith, WBZ News. Kate?